this letter gets used as a donation letter. Whereas there is no donation that the letter says I am doing. It says I intend to commit, and as part of that intention, there shall be a donation. But there is no letter that actually donates. So indeed, this letter again raises the MOA, the Memorandum of Agreement, and that is where the problem starts, because it says CAT VIP protection under the leadership of Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala has signed a Memorandum of Agreement with the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department. There is no signed Memorandum of Agreement. At least Mr. Mkhwanazi, who gave us these documents, they have not given us a signed Memorandum of Agreement. So the premise that this thing refers to is absolutely incorrect. It's a misrepresentation. It says we've entered into a process that does not exist. And again, it's worrisome that we would have a private company saying that it has intentions of enhancing the state's efforts in crime fighting and to assist in VIP protection. Beneficiaries' asset. But in this instance, there was no handover. Actually, we did not even know about the donation until the media query. And in that 2 months period where these vehicles were under the municipality's name, we don't know exactly what would have happened or what happened, what type of transactions, these vehicles were used in. What is it that was ferried through these vehicles? We don't know that. But what we do know is that if these vehicles encountered any form of scrutiny by any law enforcement agency, that law enforcement agency probably would have said they are municipal vehicles and therefore let me back off.
Is it fair to suggest that perhaps the registration period, January to, and then deregistration, the donation period and registration period and deregistration from you may well indicate or may suggest that in that period, that cover that is provided by the municipality may well have been required for a specific purpose, because they get registered in January or given to you Jan and registered and then deregistered March. So it may well be there was a specific purpose for it, and once it was achieved, the vehicles were then deregistered.
I can only postulate, Madam Commissioner, that had it not been for Jeff Wicks, whatever the purpose was would have continued. Because the deregistration process happens as a result of Jeff Wicks. Remember, we didn't know as a municipality. So if Jeff Wicks then didn't raise the alarm, whatever it is that the vehicles were doing would have continued. I don't know for how long. So it might be that indeed there might have been a purpose, an underlying purpose why this scheme was generated. But that underlying purpose could not have been for the shortened, because we're talking about a month and a half from around the 18th of January to the 6th of March. So we're talking about a month and a half or so, wherein these vehicles were registered under the municipality. So whatever the scheme was, it's probable that it was a much larger intention than March. Because the evidence that we gathered shows that when now Mkhwanazi gets suspended, then he then raises the issue with Fleet to say, hey, let's give me the documents let's do the deregistration process, because the donation process is cancelled.
Maybe those epaulets should have been given to Mr. Wicks then.
The what?
Maybe those epaulets and Georgettes should have been given to Mr. Wicks.
We owe him a huge gratitude.
It sounds like. Thank you.
We owe him a huge gratitude as an institution. We don't know exactly what the name of the municipality would have been taken through. I mean, can you imagine a situation wherein indeed any of these vehicles gets entangled in some criminal activity, and the law enforcement agency that is dealing with that criminal activity picks up that this vehicle is an Ekurhuleni vehicle? It would then have meant that our vehicles are used in a criminal enterprise.